Yes, this is so good. That's what I love about StreamYard. You're live already. And hello, everyone. Hello, Desiree, and welcome to this group. And thank you for being one of my guests.
Mhm,
Uh, Desiree DuMonde, everyone, is a certified facilitator of Access Consciousness. And as you know, we are talking about different aspects of everyone's perspective on presumptive and reactive realities. And when we were chatting with Desiree, I feel like it's already an SOP symphony of possibilities energy. But we would like to talk, and I would like to ask her take because you're a musician, right? Singer, and I as far as I perceive, you have a different way of flowing in life. The energy you be is totally the acoustic way we talk about, and the symphony energy. And I would like to ask you, because you wanted to talk about motion of choice. It's just,
mhm.
and you resemble it to music. What would you like to say about that? I'm really curious what your take on it is.
You already have me tearing up. I just thank you for that acknowledgement. Truly, just to know that what we be is perceived is the first thing. But this recent conversation and what it's opening us up to, yes, is so much more of that acoustic wavelength, and we all be it, and we have so much more that we can choose to be. And I've
Mhm.
been always, I always had this thing in my universe where whenever I was doing something I loved, such as making music or an SOP session, when I was doing something that was playful and fun, that was truly me from the presence of my being, there was an instantaneous leap into, I'd say, even less than 10-second increments.
Mhm.
When you're in that motion of creating from what you truly enjoy, there is no error, there is no flaw, there is no mistake, there is no judgment. You're in such a ugh, there's tears again. It's grateful tears, but it's like there's just such a high when we're free of judging what the next thing is. And so for many years in my life before I had these tools, I would have all this space of being when I would make music. And then like rehearsal would end or the performance would end or my lessons would end or and then it was like back to the presumptive reality of who I'm supposed to be with all these individuals. And so all of the lies that I had told myself of who I thought I was supposed to be in relation to everyone and
Mhm.
how I thought I had to show up. And I spent many years of my life even saying, journaling as a young musician over and over, like I felt like I could only be me when I was making music or maybe painting or writing or something that was fun for me.
Mhm.
And the beauty of all these tools is that we can have that and choose that all the time, and with people and with ourselves and with how we
Mhm.
create our bodies, that we are not suffering some reality that we have to escape and have a little taste of ourselves every so often. This actually is this beautiful ongoing motion of creating our life as that acoustic energy all the time. And it's so great to have these tools because now whenever it gets stuck or yuck or peoply or whatever, we have these tools.
What do you remember? What was the first time you had ease with all of that perception and awareness? Is X-Men, we have spoken about X-Men specialty class before, with all these extreme, in this reality called extreme awareness, what was the tool that made it so much ease for you? Do you have a memory of that?
Mhm. It's so cool that you asked that. I just invited some people yesterday to write down their first few memories of when they had an awareness, rather than a judgment, of when a door opened to more ease. And for me, the first access tool that just kept unbuckling me from what I thought was the shackles of torture was who does this belong to?
Whoa, yes.
And especially when we're moving that many energies and that dynamically aware, but who does this belong to just allowed me to everything just sort of it was like organized chaos. It was still chaos, but everything sort of relaxed as not necessarily relevant to me. And in the nanosecond, I would have I would have ease that there was nothing I needed to do about a lot of things.
Mhm.
But if we start thinking beyond the nanosecond, then of course we're very also intelligent,
Mhm.
unfortunately, at figuring out what we think we need to do with it all. And this is where in music, as long as I was making music, well, and or something that's acoustic in that sense, I wouldn't let any thinking in. And so it was outside of my musical world. It was with family and it was with relationships and in business that I would be like, wow, who does this belong to? And there'd be this relaxed chaos. And then I would have to then implement my second favorite tool, which was 10-second increments, which
Mm.
in music is too long.
Yeah.
But in people-y world, in the presumed reality, if you have 10 seconds to live the rest of your life, are you going to choose the presumed reality or have that presence with you? And it's a practice, but that's
Yeah.
the one still to this day that oh, okay. What will I choose? I'm going to choose me. And this doesn't have to be a problem. And these limited response systems, this limited like set of responses and reactions that I think is my compressed repertoire of how to show up here isn't true, isn't true, isn't true.
Yeah.
So then I will have to say the third one, my favorite line that I used to have written all over the place that now is just written in the inside of my head is judgment is heavy, awareness is light.
Yes.
Those when it's longer than even a few seconds of heaviness, I know I'm going into something that's a
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, as you were speaking, I could perceive, I'm kind of visual. I could perceive the energy, the wave, the motion, the flow of being so light and so vast, like incomprehensible, but it's so much motion and flow. And there are like layers of a cake, as like rainbow layers. And at the
Mhm.
bottom, is just like your thoughts, feelings, emotions, so dense. Yes, there is sort of a flow that make you one think that there is a flow, but actually so dense, and it's almost like the slime, the slime we have been talking about. Wow.
Well, and for me, that solidity, that place, this is where these clearings have been so dynamic for me because there's been certain places until recently that I couldn't
Mhm.
seem to get through that were like, oh, but this is a real solidity. those those super committed presumed realities of who we think we are to justify a continuation of some sort of limitation. So I know for myself, we will often not go close, take those two more steps closer toward the solidity so we can change it because it gets so uncomfortable because you really find out how solid and dense it is, but that it's not a reality. And as you're willing to be like, wow, it's really intense, but it isn't true, but I've made it so true, you have this very weird place that I am definitely full on in right now, that I'm seeing the places that I was certain I couldn't go beyond.
Mhm.
And when you know, no matter how uncomfortable and you can't go back to a lie, because once you identify a lie, it's pretty hard to lie it back to yourself.
Totally.
But that is so the misidentification of uncomfortable because it's such an exciting thing to know that what we're capable of becoming is so far beyond even our hopes and dreams of ourselves. Because
Yeah.
even those are presumed realities I've been finding, at least about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That all those rainbow wavelengths and everything, if we really lean toward that and we're willing to be that undefined and continue to clear those things and be present
Mm-hmm.
with awareness, then what new like ingenuity of how you're going to handle a situation can show up.
Beautiful. That reminds me, I have sometimes, not sometimes, every day, every morning before I wake up, I ask a few questions that expands my world, or, asks that I have. But one of my favorite is, who am I today? And what grand and glorious adventures will I and can I have? Even not, today is too long, like you were talking about 10 seconds, because
Yeah.
we are different every moment. And the degree of who does this belong to is astonishing me every day. The more I, oh, even that, which I thought was expensiveness, is not me. That was a very surprising discovery. This very past, this year I have been, like, even the things that I thought was expensive and light, oh, that doesn't even belong to me. And how different is that?
That and that's such a great example of like the need of reactive realities where
Yeah.
we will have we'll like create what we think is possible based on that whole presumed reality and the need of someone else's presumed reality and all these and so even our hopes and dreams, I've been feeling this like compression in the last year of like I know I'm capable of desiring and choosing so much more than even my wow list that was not really my wow list, right? Like you were just
Yeah.
saying. So then that's where music and like the things for me, it's like it's when I'm singing. It's not when I think about music. If I'm thinking about music, I'm usually doing a presumptive reality and starting to manifest some judgment of myself and expectation of being perfect. So
Hmm.
there's this major danger in thinking. And yet if you just sit down at the piano and you just start singing, then I don't have a judgment of what's coming out because I'm already in the next nanosecond of creating sound. It's just like sort of like embroidering. You're just pulling the next thread through, and if it snags or whatever, you just handle it. It's not a problem. You're just creating. You're in the sowing of more. You're in the becoming. And so with music, I've always had that. And then in facilitating, it can be that way because you're on this edge of question and space. And then, of course, like with horses, you have it because if you have a presumed reality with a horse and you're going to think you can try to control things, that is just like, and that's like the antithesis of the communion that horses require. And so that's another place where, like, I mean, 10-second increments again is a little long. The presence is even tighter than that. And there's no mistakes, there's no problems. Everything is what's occurring.
Hmm.
Everything is such a gift. It's so cool. Like, if we really run these clearings and we're the space beyond it, every single thing is a gift. And we're constantly throwing so many gifts away by defining things. As
Yeah.
soon as we label it and stick ourselves with that was a mistake, I should have said this, I could have done that. We just we just threw away whatever we could have received. And
Yeah.
so it's this fun new exploration of like, I wonder what it's going to be like interacting not just with the animals and the trees and music, but really bringing that acoustic wavelength to every conversation, to doing my taxes, to running my businesses, to selling a property. Like
Yeah.
how much could we really grow into a completely different level of really taking care of ourselves and trusting ourselves and enjoying ourselves. That's where I know I'm headed with whatever the conversation is about. Has access has been such a great gift, and in particular this latest conversation, for me to undo where I am lying to myself and absolutely believing it's real, because those are the places where I'll stick myself to look for someone or something else to take better care of me than I can for me. And so this all opens us up to trusting, like when we're in creation, you're caring for you. And when you're creating from that question and no error, no flaw, no definition, you're rolling with it, you're learning from it, you're turned on by it, then you're caring for you. Like you're going to be so present. Like there's nothing to fear, there's nothing to be looking over your shoulder, there's everything to be curious about. And that's a level of caring for me that has been showing up that no one else really taught me and no one else really knew about until this conversation. Like I would see certain people, very few, who really had a sense of being here on the earth and being with themselves. And I was like, I'll have that, whatever it takes, no matter how much presumed reality and lies that I've been doing for decades. Let's see what else is possible.
Yeah, totally.
Words
The endless,
are enough.
infinite,
Sorry.
infinite possibilities. Totally. You know what is pinging me? I know we will be a little couple minutes more, but if it's okay with you,
Sure.
what is pinging me? Just you to invite, and me, I will join too. Just like be with the energy and be the flow in silence. Just be whatever you want to create in your life. I'm inviting everyone. Just take that as an energy and let's just be with it, flow with it. Just perceive the energy that you, whatever you want to create in your life. Just take that energy. And Desiree, I know you are an immense invitation and gift in that. Just
Oh,
tap into
I
her
love.
every.
Well, and I will just add to it, like there's such a wave that's available right there, but I know I just love to tell it to myself. It's what I remind myself every morning, but like be everything you can be and enjoy it. No pressure, no projected result, but why lie and downplay according to the need of reactive realities, the Nora's slime, the response, like what if it really was like I get to be here, that gratitude for being alive.
Yeah.
And if I could enjoy it, no matter who that upsets, and trust that in the long run, whatever that means, it could be, a really long run, it could be in no time, it could be in space, that you gifting you that acoustic, more and more and more of that acoustic gift of being alive, that it is the gift to the world.
Thank you so much, Desiree.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this invitation, and what a beautiful creation you have.
Thank you so much. And hope to see you somewhere soon. And thank you everyone for being here. Still, this wave of energy is continuing. What if by the end of this podcast, or whenever you are listening to it, and whenever you really are present with it, it doesn't end once you are logged out, once it's shut down. It's just a continuum of energies. It's just changing. Just be present. What does it take for you to be present with it
Mm.
throughout the day, the rest of your day and your life?
Mm. Yep, just keep swimming, just keep sewing, just keep singing, just keep receiving. Just keep riding the wave.
Yeah. Thank you, Desiree, and thank you, everyone. And see you somewhere tomorrow. We will see you again. Well, thank you, Desiree, for
Thank you.
everything you be. Bye.